Hey guys, there we are. Why is that door? Is this backwards? I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Trying to get it right, trying to get it happening. How's everybody doing today? I think this is backwards. Sorry, I don't know how to fix it. Well, I'll just have to play left-handed. Okay. Fixing all the things. Maybe I just need to not look at the video. How about that? Hey everybody, who's in here? One viewer. Who's the viewer so far? Let's see. Somebody is watching. One person is watching. One person out of the 500 people in Cello Nation need to work on their vibrato. No one else needs to, huh? This is my left hand. I think it's coming out right. But I'm not sure why this is so turned. It's weird. Okay, viewer, let me know who you are. Hi, Adrian. Of course, it's Adrian, my biggest fan. We're going to do some vibrato today. Hopefully people are going to watch this later. We're going to work a little bit on Rigadoon because there's a lot of people in here that are in book one. Plus, I love Rigadoon. And we can put some vibrato on pieces of all kinds. The simpler the better, because then we get to work on a vibrato actually instead of the piece, right? So let's talk a little bit about vibrato. I've been talking to students about it, and we've got, you can put your arm in the air to practice your vibrato, your right arm. We've got the vibrato, the idea of just throwing your finger down and letting it, boom, letting it, bounce, like a ball bouncing, like a super ball. Boom, right? Remember that thing that used to walk up the steps? What was that called? A slinky. Wow, I haven't seen those in a long time. Boom, 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 boom. Once you get it started, that's what we think of in your vibrato. Throw it on there, maybe keep your thumb there, throw it on, and let it do its own thing, right? Now the other idea was, when people have troubles with that, it's fun for them to try twisting your wrist on this side. That's another thing. So let's talk about what Suzuki teaches, or at least what I learned through Suzuki teaching, is Knuckle Knocks. So that is you put you pin your finger, and then you're in fourth position, which is just right here. Let me fix this. You're in fourth position. You guys, if you're in here, say who you are and where you're joining us from, okay? Because I always like to see who's in here. Okay, so you put your hand on this shelf. I like to call it a shelf. And that's the easiest note to find on the cello, because that's your E, right? Right there, your E. Also, there's a harmonic there. Now push it down. It's okay if you didn't know that. Doesn't mean anything. No one told you. Okay, harmonic. Hand goes on the shelf. Just drop it. There's your E, right? So for the Knuckle Knocks, hi Barbara. Sunny Netherlands, yes. Knuckle Knocks. Can you hear that? This is a way that people can feel how wide their vibrato can get. Some people put a vibrato on and it's really, really thin. And they can do that, but it's really thin. And I want to encourage everybody to goof around with your vibrato. See if you can make it wider. And this is the first way to practice it. It's right? That's okay. We're just working on the movement. We're not playing at Carnegie Hall on this exercise. And then second finger. Can you hear this? Right, you can hear that. You can do that on all four fingers. When you get to the fourth finger, it's harder, up here especially. So you kind of see where it has to change into your hand coming up over this thing to get the movement. And you always have to move more this way on your hand like this than your wrist. It's kind of interesting in that way. You can have a loose finger, but up here we're going to be working on this. Okay, so you should measure it. You can do 1, 2, way on, way on, way on, way on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then you can do twice that fast. California, California. You know, each time you hit it, California is a syllable. Ready, go. Now that's getting closer to a real vibrato. Now what's interesting is you can't see my bow, but what happens to people's bows is, because they're thinking about the left hand and not the bow. So make sure you just try to lighten up your bow and keep it moving. So let's do first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. A down bow and an up bow. Ready, go. Right? You can goof around with different rhythms. So triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do 8. Just have to make it less wide. And then once you get that movement, right, then you can stop making the noise. And you take your hand kind of away from this, and it goes more bunched up into your fingers. And then what happens when we take the thumb off? That's always a fun and interesting thing to try. Wow, that was really good for me. And my elbow came back, and I did a thinner vibrato, and it was really beautiful. So, you know, we've always been told that teachers know all the answers, right? Our teacher's the only person that knows the answer. We've been taught that in grade school. No one's ever encouraged to come up with their own ideas. Not no one, but most teachers do not teach that way. And if teachers don't know the answers, they panic, right? I'm thinking, why panic? Why not just ask the students? Because they're as smart as I am. They can figure it out as quickly as I can. And it's fun to share the ideas, right? There's many different ways to approach something. And I think vibrato is one of those things. Like when you're in school, you're taught that your teacher is the supreme being and you do something this way. I understand that because it's good to learn to do something one way first, and then you can go off on your own, right? But right now, we've all been playing some, and you know, do the Knuckle Knocks if you haven't. But I love all of your suggestions, and it helps me to be a better teacher and figure out what's really going on with everyone, right? And I just want to encourage you to be your own teacher. So is it harder? Yeah, it takes a little bit more time. But what you come up with in the end is a vibrato that you have chosen and that you love and that you've dissected and figured out exactly what kind of movement you want to move for it and how wide you want it to be, right? So, did you guys watch the video I posted of Jamin Han on Cello Nation live today? Rachmaninoff Sonata. Oh my God, you have to watch it. He's 14 on there. I think there was a new, I'm not sure, I might be spreading misinformation, but a new Van Cliburn competition winner. That was the pianist in that video, and he was 16 then. But this Jamin Han was 14 in that video. I had no idea when I watched it. Wow, it was really interesting. This slow movement. But you have to do this bowing. Wait. Sorry. a slow movement of the Rachmaninoff Sonata. Go watch it if you haven't. But it's interesting because Jamin, who's 14, which is a little bit annoying, not really, I love all cellists, but he did something on there where his vibrato was beautiful. I was trying to analyze it, but he had on a tux, so it was all black. And the background was black, the piano was black, so you couldn't see which part of his hand was doing what, right? But it was really beautiful. But he did something interesting, which was sometimes when there were some passages with eighth notes in it, he did vibrato on every other note, which is like, Jamin, what are you doing? But it was gorgeous. So I want you to check that out and see if you see that. I think it's at 16 minutes in, that slow movement. It's gorgeous. I don't think he was consciously doing that, but it didn't matter. It was gorgeous anyway. So I'm just throwing that out to say, hey, it is what it is, and it's gorgeous. So watch it. So we have 3 people on here. I don't know how to get more viewers on these. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Barbara hasn't seen Jamin. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous, Barbara. Let me know how to get more people involved and interested in these, because I know there's a lot of people in Cello Nation Live who need a better vibrato. Not need, want. I want one too. Why wouldn't we? We're cellists. That's our icing, right? The icing on our cake. Okay, so a couple things. There is a Cello Summit July 27th. We will be playing Roslyn Castle some and talking some. So come to that. That's a Wednesday at 11 a.m. You have to sign up. You can sign up on Cello Nation. It's called Cello Summit, okay? There's a masterclass in August. It's August 15th. You can sign up for that. You'll be able to sign up for that here as well as at thecelloguru.com. And I'm officially telling you guys that the Monterey Cello Congress will be running again. I didn't do it this summer for some different reasons, but I'm going to be having it in October in Monterey. So this is the official first notice. I don't know the dates. I'm checking on getting a spot. Okay, Monterey Cello Congress, 3 days in Monterey, the most gorgeous place in the world. Okay, Monterey Cello Congress. Last summer was the bomb. This summer's going to be even better. Although it's not summer, it's fall. I don't know what that noise is outside. You guys got Rigadoon up? Okay, how are we going to vibrate when the piece is fast? Let's say we're going to just throw it on and do a little shake. Let's not even bother about counting it, okay? You got your music up? Rigadoon, page 18, book 1 by Purcell. You ready? 1, 2, ready, go. For this piece, but what kind of vibrato were you able to put in on that? Was it wide? Was it thin? Were you counting it? Are you able to count it? Yes, Barbara, that is my Congress, the Monterey Cello Congress. You coming? October 3 days of awesome playing together. Cello Congress. So I noticed I was doing 3 shakes per quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up is a shake. Down, up is a shake, sorry. So 3 of those per quarter note. That's what I could do when I was doing kind of a slow, wide vibrato. I don't know what they're doing outside, but I hope you can still hear me. So can you do that on the quarter notes? One thing that helps is pull your bow, and this is just for practicing vibrato. It doesn't mean necessarily that the piece is going to be really smooth and elegant. But accent, like this. When you accent here, left hand is going to accent as well, and you can throw them both down at the same time. Barbara's gonna play cello in the street to collect money to come to the Monterey Cello Congress. Okay, Barbara, and we'll give you a scholarship. So throw your finger down at the same time you're throwing your bow down. That can help your movement, right? Now what if we did 4 per bow? That sounds a little different, right? The first one was 3. That's a little bit wider, right? 4 is a little bit faster, tighter. Would like me doing that. So this isn't a musical suggestion. This is a technical suggestion just to work on getting vibrato on smaller notes, right? Now when you perform this might not be what you are going to do. You might take the vibrato and throw it all out and play it like this. And you may just add it on the half notes. To knock at your door and say, hey, you didn't put vibrato on this, you didn't put vibrato on that. But I do have a joke for you that I love, which is, what is the difference between someone who has vibrato and someone who doesn't? What is the difference? Okay, the difference is the person who has vibrato is putting vibrato on, right? You get it? That kind of cracks me up. No one ever laughs. But it cracks me up because it just means, you know, if you tell me I don't know how to get up out of this chair, get up out of the chair, right? Vibrato is the same. I don't know how to do vibrato. Do vibrato. Start doing vibrato. Start working on it. Start thinking about it, right? When you give your brain a problem and you tell your brain that you might be able to solve it, or you ask your brain, how can we solve this? Your brain is going to immediately go to work to find a million ways to solve it. That's what you need, right, for vibrato. Because we want to work on our vibrato, we don't want it to just sound kind of halfway okay. We want to be able to manipulate it, make it thin, make it wider for intensity, right? We want to make it. Sometimes move your elbow back, move your elbow up, goof around with it, figure it out, okay? Adrian's cracking up for some reason. Okay, so that was Rigadoon, and again, I want to encourage you to figure it out yourself. Figure it out. I gave you some ways to practice it. Now, which way do you like it best? That's my message today. Figure stuff out yourself, guys. You're musicians, you're artists, you're creatives. Doesn't matter if you haven't done it for a career. Who cares? Most people haven't, right? Figure it out. Find out a way that you love. Okay, and now we're going to add Scherzo. And let's just throw our arm on and really let it. Oh yeah, was going to say, so one way to think of this is you throw your finger on and your hand just moves loosely, right? You don't even have to think about wrist. Just throw it on and pin it and let it move loosely, right? One way to think of it is moving your wrist, and that was the Knuckle Knocks thing, right? I'm still making a sound here, right? But another way to think of it is pin your finger and move your hand up and down the fingerboard. And then you're going to keep the same movement and just pin it. So it's making this noise, then go to a B or whatever note you want and just keep that same movement, right? There's a looseness in that. Okay, those are some different ideas on how to work on vibrato. Again, think about it yourself, talk about it to your cello friends. It cracks me up when people say to me, well, my teacher said that teaching vibrato was hard, so she doesn't teach it. I'm like, seriously? That's the reason to teach it, to figure it out, you know? It's so funny. I think as teachers, we think we have to know all the answers because that's what society thinks, but guess what? We don't. Do you guys remember The Simpsons? There was such a funny Simpsons episode where Bart hides all the teacher's manuals in the school. He locks them all in a locker. I don't know why he was mad. But all the teachers are in their classes going, the answer to this is, because none of them know the answers because they're all depending on the teacher's manuals. I love that. We don't need to do that. We can ask everybody and have a nice, healthy conversation about it and figure out what we think, right? Okay. So now we're going to play the Scherzo by Webster, page 11, Suzuki Book 3, okay? We're going to play the gorgeous middle section, right? And going into it, that's how we go into it. It's a big retard below it, which is fun. But let's just start right on that middle section, okay? If you guys are in the house, write something on here. And also later, if you're watching it, write on here because I can't see who you are. You guys ready to play the Scherzo? Who's ready? Yes. Are we ready to do it? You're going to throw your finger on. Let's make this wide and romantic, right? Because I'm a romantic. I don't know if you guys are. I am. Everything should be wide, and you're going to pass that vibrato from finger to finger without interrupting the twist of the wrist or the movement of the finger, right? It's impossible. But let's do it anyway. Think about your thumb. Where do you want your thumb to be? Do you want your thumb to be off to make an amazing vibrato? Sounds different when your elbow's down here or when your elbow's back. It's a study. You guys ready? I got my B, my Bonnie, right? Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Okay, Scherzo. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice. How'd you guys do? Were you guys able to put vibrato on the 8th note? You can put it on. What do you think? I'm thinking maybe not, right? I don't know what I said last week. Changes from day to day anyway, because we're human and we change our minds on that moment, right? But if you guys put vibrato on it, it's going to sound like this. By the way, if you like that chord in the beginning, it's just G, D, and then your B. You do 2 strings, that's a G chord. You use it all the time. We're going to use it all the time in our summits and everything. Okay? So, if you put vibrato on the eighth notes, it's going to sound like this. Do you like that? Or do you like this better? No matter what I do, I'm flat on my G. Or vibrato. Goof around with it and see what you think. I probably think no vibrato on the eighth notes at this point because the speed we're going to be taking it seems like it cuts it up a little bit. So that's up to you to decide. How fast was your vibrato? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had a student yesterday who told me I can't count quarter notes, 1, 2, and vibrato at the same time. So just, feel your beat and count the vibrato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, okay? You guys, can you do 8? Okay. 8 was good. We're gonna play it one more time, then I'm gonna go, okay? So I'm gonna have some lunch. I have 2 classes today. The Summer Sizzle starts today. Yay, the Summer Sizzle series. We are going to be playing Star of the County Down. We're gonna figure out everything about Star of the County Down and how to make a unique rendition of it. So it's gonna be really fun. But let's play Scherzo one more time just because I got you here, so we may as well do a good rendition. Choose whether you're going to put vibrato on the eighth notes or not before you do it. Choose how wide your vibrato is going to be before you do it. Mine's going to be like that wide with 8 per half note. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, go. Scherzo and Rigadoon, okay? Everybody, if you're watching this later, write in the chat if you enjoyed it, what you thought about it. And Barbara says, I think I can hit 6 beats on a half. Quarter note vibrato is still hard. Yeah, I think just throw it on and shake, Barbara. Throw it on and shake. The eighth notes are hard in this, I noticed. Be conscious of it, though. Don't be scared of it. You need to be friends with your vibrato and be friends with every part of your cello playing. Just become friends. If you're friends, you're not going to avoid it, right? You don't have to be scared of it. Throw it on there and see what you get. Count it and start to make it thinner, make it wider. Just goof around with it. So we did it on Rigadoon and we did it on the Webster Scherzo. You guys write in here and tell me how you did. Tell me what topics you want me to, thanks, Barbara says thanks. Thanks, Barbara. Tell me what topics you want to be addressed. I think we're going to be doing the swan on this for vibrato. I don't know if that's next week. That's either next week or the 4th week. But we're going to be doing a few different pieces for this. And then we'll play all of them as well, okay? Okay, guys, lunchtime. Don't forget to write in the comments, because when you write in the comments, I don't know, somehow it's good. It means that we're engaging. We want to engage, because otherwise you're never going to get good. You got to engage. Jump in the pool with me. Let's do it. Okay, guys, I will see you next week at 11. Don't forget to sign up on the Cello Nation page for the Cello Summit, which is July 27th, where we will be playing Roslyn Castle, the Scottish air. Adrian's learning to be conscious on vibrato. It's new for you. Yeah, right? Everybody usually just throws it on. Barbara's getting over her vibrato fear. Yeah, you don't need one. Thank you, Adrian. You guys are my biggest fans. I love you guys. I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to come in the summit masterclass series in August. Check on here, thecelloguru.com, to sign up for stuff. Okay, guys? All right. I will see you guys next week. And don't forget to watch Rachmaninoff. Jamin Han, 14 years old, on Cello Nation Live. It's gorgeous.